Welcome to a video from thedigital-lifestyle.com. In this video we're going to have a look at what's new with the Windows 10 Creators Update for PC. Now this has been in test called Redstone 2, and for Windows Insider it's been available for some time, and I've been trying all the various builds. And when I came to compile this list, it was actually hard to remember what the new features are, because there's quite a lot, but they're all fairly subtle and they do improve the Windows experience, and once you get used to them especially, you'll want to get this build on all your machines, because it is a nice improvement over the anniversary update released last year for Windows 10. So here's my sort of highlights of some of the things that I've been playing around with, and some of the things that I like as part of this Windows 10 update. So the first thing you'll notice is, the first feature I noticed really is this thing called app folders. So the idea with app folders is you can group together applications that into like these pop-up folders. So you can see here I've got one for sort of phone and Skype messaging type apps. I've got one there for media apps and a social one there. And they're really easy to create. You just really drag them together. So I could say perhaps put the calculator into a folder called utilities, something like that. So let's drag calculator on top of the weather, and there you go, there's my folder, and I can stick another folder in there like that. So that's how you create folders. You can't put a folder in a folder. I don't think you couldn't on the previous build. No, you can't there. You'll chase it around if you try and do that, but it is a nice way to sort of get related apps together in one location. So anything social, I can go straight to there, and I know it's there, or straight to my media apps like that. So that's a new feature in this build. Another new feature is around sharing, and there's a new sharing dialog, and let's have a look, say, at this picture, and I say I want to share it. And instead of the old sidebar that comes down this right hand side, which was kind of a carryover from Windows 8 actually, we've got this new sharing dialog box here, and that's a link to the store, so you can get more apps that are compatible with sharing. All these are capable of sharing that feature, and that's this photo. So mail would send it the mail, I can add it to OneNote, or I can tweet it, put it to Facebook, or I can even create a reminder in Cortana related to this photo. Same works with browsing, or anything where you see the share icon. We get this new sharing app, which I think looks a lot better than the old Windows 8 version. Now, talking of sharing and Cortana, Cortana's got a new look. Let's see if I can trigger this if I lock the machine. Hey Cortana, what's new in Windows 10?
You just need to unlock your device first.
See, you've got that full screen lock experience there. That's new, and I'm not sure how well that came out on my screen recording software. But basically what you get is a full screen version of Cortana, and it's a nice way of sort of when the machine's on the lock screen that you can interact with it. All my machines have just triggered all doing that at the same time. And the good thing about that is you can actually use it for things like playing music or radio. So let's try something else. Hey Cortana, play Pink Floyd.
Playing Pink Floyd.
So there you go. Interacting with Cortana there, playing music without having to actually unlock it. You can turn that off if you want, but I like that. It's a nice feature, and it was very handy if it was be able to control smart home, that kind of stuff. At the moment it's music and that kind of stuff that you probably control that way, but it's a good way of doing it, and I like that full screen. And that, like I said, that full screen experience comes if Windows is idle. So if you left the machine idle, and then they say it's 30 seconds, so we'll see. Let me try it, and I'll edit the 30 seconds of me doing nothing out of the video. Hey Cortana, play Pink Floyd.
And now, Pink Floyd.
So there you go, that worked. Left it for 30 seconds, got the full screen Cortana experience. if you've got if you set your region to US English as well, there is a feature where you can carry on where you left off. So if you're in Edge and you go from one PC to another, it will have that in the sidebar as a way of carrying on where you've left off. I haven't been able to get that working because my machines are UK English, but you can do that. Another feature as well, you can play tuning radio and you can play iHeartRadio if you're in the US. Right, that was probably had most of the changes really is Microsoft Edge. So here's Edge, which brought up that search that I requested before. And first thing you'll notice, I've got these tab previews here. So let me open another tab. So open another tab here. Let me close that back. So this is how you were probably familiar with it in Windows 10, the anniversary update. You've got your tabs across the top, and you could put your mouse over, and you've got a preview of the tab. What's different now is you've got this preview here, so you can switch between them, and you can actually see what's on the tabs. A nice preview of the tab, which I think is quite a nice feature, especially if you're using a lot of tabs and you've got a lot of things open at once. Then this is a good visual indicator of what's going on each tab. Something else that's new as well, what you can do when you're working on this, so say I'm working on this set of tabs now and I want to come back to those later, I can do set these tabs aside, which it does, and then I get a blank tab and I can go and open something else. Go back here you can see tabs I've set aside earlier. So this one is from 2 months ago when I was testing it. This one is from 3 weeks ago, and that's the one I've just set aside now. So if I restore these tabs, I get my existing tab I've already got, plus the 3 that I was working on before. So you take them back to where you left off, which I think is a quite a nice feature. Another new feature from Microsoft Edge is the ability to read EPUB books. So this is an EPUB book, and here you can see I'm reading it in the Edge browser, and I think it should carry on where you left off. Let me just have a look. Yes, there you go. So Edge browser is great for reading EPUB books now. Another feature I quite like, and this actually I can demonstrate the settings but you won't see it from the screen, is called night mode, and you find it in your display settings. Night settings, what it does is it actually reduces the colour or alters the colour of the screen. Now I can play with these settings now on here, and my screen is changing, so as I slide more to the left here it goes more red and more blue as I go, or white as I go that way. The idea of this is reduced blue light. So studies say that exposure to blue light in the evening before you sleep actually reduces or increases the problems of going to sleep. So Google and Apple have implemented some of this in some of their products, and Microsoft have this now. So if I turn that on now, that has this nice warm glow about the screen, and it'll stay on now until 6:09, which is sunrise time where I am. So, and then it'll come back on tomorrow night at 18:28. And I have that on this setting as well. I do like this sort of reduced blue light. And when you go and use a machine that's not got this setting, you see it's actually quite stark, the whites on it. So I quite like that. It's a nice way of browsing the web in the evening. Another new set of features is Windows inking, and just sort of smart little touches that make the inking experience a bit better. You've got the settings are there, but now these pens here, you see these pen colours here. If I change this pen colour to yellow, you see it changes up there. So the actual icons match the colour, and it's a little thing, but it does make it a bit easier to see what you're doing. Also, if you're creating new ink notes, now this was available in previous builds, but you'll notice if I write something very badly scrolled, Tuesday, see it's turned it into a link because it's going to change that calendar appointment. That was introduced in the anniversary update, and some countries have gained this feature now, depending on your language settings. So you may have had this already, but you may find that this is a new feature to you. Also, this is a new feature here. You can now annotate images and photos using the photo manager with this toolbar. So I didn't have to do anything. I just opened the photo and just touched the pen to the screen, and that started working straight away. So a nice little addition for anybody that likes using ink in their with Windows. Something that is quite useful if you use Windows 10 with an external monitor and you've got a tablet is this virtual trackpad, which you can turn on off here. You think, well, why do I need that? I've got a mouse, but I've got the Surface Pro 3 here, and if I had this connected up to a second monitor, and as an extended monitor rather than just a duplicate, there would be no way if I was just using the touchscreen to move the cursor onto the other screen, if you know what I mean. So I'm using the touchscreen now. You see my mouse point or my cursor moving around. I can't touch the second screen. With this, I can control the mouse through here, so if it goes on second screen, I control it. It's a really small thing, but certainly welcome for any tablet users that are using a second monitor. The Windows Store's had a few tweaks, and again, this is very much region dependent. There are, if you're in the US, there's now a bookstore in there, and you can buy books as well as movies, TVs, and games. I'm not, so I can't show you that, but I do have a document that goes along with this guide, which is on the digitallifestyle.com, where I've got some screenshots of it. I changed my regions and settings around to make it work, so have a look at that if you like. Also, themes are available to purchase as well, so it's a pre-packaged set of colours and backgrounds and that kind of thing. Something on the security side is there's a new version of Windows Defender, and this is a proper Windows 10 app. So you may remember this Windows Defender, which is a great app for antivirus and malware protection. But on the previous Windows 10 version, it looked like a Windows 7 app, really, not even a Windows 8 app. So it's good to see that this has been rewritten from ground up, and a much better modern looking application where you get all your virus protections and notifications and everything else. And I do like this program, and it looks a lot better now. It looks much more Windows 10 like. Another feature which I like for security is called Dynamic Lock, which you find in your user account settings and your sign-in options. This it's a pretty basic feature. Good idea though. If you've got a Bluetooth device that's paired to your Windows 10 machine, so say your phone, you turn this on, and then what it does is when your Bluetooth device loses connectivity with your PC, after 30 seconds it'll lock your machine. So imagine you're working away on your PC, it stays active, you walk away, your phone's in your pocket, 30 seconds later it locks your machine, so give you that extra security. It's a good idea. I wish there was a bit more control, and you could pick which devices do those locks. Currently it just works on phones and I think Bluetooth headsets as well. And you can't say which phone, and you can't say how long you can walk away for, that kind of thing. But it's an additional security control, and I think it's definitely worth having. Another thing in the settings as well that is well worth checking out, if you've got a trackpad, is the options for precision trackpad. I think it's find that under here, and then trackpad. If you side by side this screen with one of the previous builds, you'll see, or the Windows 10 anniversary update, you'll see we've got these 3-finger controls now, which are new if you've got a precision touchpad, which the Surface Pro 3 does. So I can do 3 fingers from multitasking view, 3 fingers down for desktop, and you can customize all this as well. So I've got 3 fingers there, and 3 fingers there, and 3 fingers there. So additional controls and more controls as well. So you've got a bit more control over what you do with these settings, which is good. On Windows Update, you will see a benefit as well. A couple of things. There's a change to the active hours. You can extend these active hours a bit longer, and you've also got the option to postpone updates. Let me just show you that one. I think that's in the advanced options. There we go. I can pause updates till 29th. Depending on the build you've got or the edition you've got, as in Home or Professional, I think these different date settings can be changed. this is just 7 days on here. So I got a way of delaying this update for 7 days. Also, as well as a benefit going forward, is the new updates from Microsoft, new editions of Windows 10. So this is the Creators Update, whatever the next one is. They're using something called differential updates. So the actual download will be quicker. So rather than downloading the whole image each time, it will just download the changes. So it should mean that the actual amount of data you need to download when you get a new build of Windows 10 will be reduced, which I think is a great way of saving some time and bandwidth. Now, I don't do a lot of PC gaming, but there is a new gaming section here in settings. There's which you can control options for the gaming bar. The gaming bar's been there already, but now you can control these settings, and there's broadcasting built in as well, so through Beam. So good for gamers, and there's some optimization as well for gaming mode. So when you enable gaming mode, and the gaming bar can be used to enable it as well, it will optimize Windows 10. So I think it kind of reduces some of the background tasks, that kind of thing, and really makes your gaming the focus of Windows. And I think you get a better gaming experience from it. There are quite a few other changes, and like I said, it is hard to remember which ones to show off, because I've been using this build for so long now. Paint 3D is a new application, a replacement for the old Paint program. So you can still do your painting either by mouse or by pen, but you can also do 3D objects as well. So I think I can pick a 3D object. I'm using the pen to do this, and I can rotate that and change that. There you go. So a nice tool if you want to do some 3D design, and a good replacement for the old Paint app as well. Other things are there's better what's called out-of-box experience. So when Windows 10 starts up for the first time, when you do a clean install, the experience of going through your initial setup has been improved, and that's a nice way of making that a better experience. Your very first impressions of the OS, I guess, and I quite like the changes they've done with that. I'm not going to wipe this machine to show you, but it is a better experience. And plenty of the apps have been improved. I won't show you those, because the great thing about Windows 10 is it's not dependent on the OS for updates to the Mail app or to the Music app or whatever. These apps just get updated all the time through the Windows Store. So normally, in the past, you would have had a new update of Windows and lots of changes come along the line with all the apps, but that isn't the case anymore. It doesn't need to. They can be delivered separately. I'll probably do a separate mobile video at some point, a separate video of the mobile build. But really, mobile hasn't really been on the back burner for this development. Many of the changes, or some of the changes I've talked about, are on mobile, such as the new settings, the ebook support in the US Windows Store, the EPUB support in Microsoft Edge, improved text and zooming on Microsoft Edge, and an improved Wi-Fi settings that actually matches the Wi-Fi settings here in Windows 10 for PC. Under the hood, all the core of Windows 10 for mobile has been upgraded along with the PC version. Just there isn't anything particularly new to show you on there. So overall, I would say this build is, it's the best version of Windows 10 so far, as you'd expect. Continued development. It's essentially, it's almost like the old days, a service pack. But I've been using this for a while and do like this build. In terms of stability, I'm still on a preview build, and this has been really solid for some time now. Actually, we've got it nice and polished, this version of Windows 10. I didn't have any driver issues after upgrading or anything like that. I have found, though, during the upgrade process, it does reset some drivers sometimes. So if you've manually changed a driver in Device Manager, you probably have to do that again. I found that on a couple of my devices where I've changed a driver because it worked better, and a slightly different one than the one Windows thought I should be using, and that resets it back after installing this update. So you have to do that. But that's it, really. That's the only issue I would guess, or say that you might encounter. definitely worth installing, and a good Windows experience. So thanks for watching this one. I actually have some notes, some screenshots and things on thedigital-lifestyle.com. If you've got any questions or suggestions or anything else, send them to ian@thedigital-lifestyle.com, at ISDixon on Twitter, and you'll find me on thedigital-lifestyle.com.